Good morning students. Unit 2 Measurements. Now let's recall what are all the topics we have discussed in past two sessions. Conversion of metric units and measures of time. Conversion of metric units. First let's see the different metric units for different sizes. Large ones means kilometer, kiloliter or kilogram. Medium ones means meter, liter or gram. Small ones means centimeter, centiliter or centigram. And very small ones means millimeter, milliliter or milligram. Units of length in metric system. Kilo 1000 units, hecto 100 units, deca 10 units, base 1 unit, deci 0.1 units, centi 0.01 units, milli 0.001 units. When we convert higher unit to lower unit, that is kilo to hecto, hecto to deca, deca to base unit, base to deci, deci to centi, centi to milli. We have to multiply it by 10. When we convert lower to higher, that is milli to centi, centi to deci, deci to base, base to deca, deca to hecto, hecto to kilo means we have to divide it by 10. In this session today we are going to see about how to convert year into months and days and how to find the leap year. Year. A year is a time taken by the earth to make one revolution around the sun. A year has 12 months or 365 days. Each month is divided into weeks. A month has 4 weeks and a few more days. A week is of 7 days. A month has 30 days or 31 days except February. February has 28 or 29 days. Students, note it carefully. 1 year equal to 365 or 366 days. 1 year equal to 12 months. 1 year equal to 52 weeks. 1 month equal to 31 or 30 days. 1 week equal to 7 days. Now let's see about leap year. In a leap year, the month of February has 29 days. How can we identify a leap year? Let's see. Generally, a year which is divisible by 4 is considered as a leap year. Years which are multiples of 100 or centuries such as 1100, 1200, 1300 up to 1900, 2000, 2100 etc. The centuries which is divisible by 400 is a leap year. Do you know students, a jubilee is particular anniversary of an event. Let's see one by one. Silver Jubilee, 25th anniversary. Ruby Jubilee, 40th anniversary. Golden Jubilee, 50th anniversary. Diamond Jubilee, 60th anniversary. Sapphire Jubilee, 65th anniversary. Platinum Jubilee, 70th anniversary. 10 years equal to 1 decade, 100 years equal to 1 century, 1000 years equal to 1 millennium. Now let's solve exercise problems. 10th sum. Manikam joined a chess class on 20/2/2017 and due to exam he left practice after 20 days. Again he continued practice from 10/7/2017 to 31/3/2018. Calculate how many days did he practice. See, here the given question is Manikam joined a chess class on February 20 and due to exam he left practice after 20 days. Starting he went to chess class for 20 days only. After the exam he continued practice from July 10 to March 31. We have to calculate how many days did he practice? See here. See, at starting Manikam practiced only 20 days. Again he rejoined from July 10 to March 3. First we have to find in July month how many days did he practiced. In July month he started practice from 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So in the month of July, he practiced 22 days. The total number of days in July month is 31. From that, he practiced 22 days. So in July month, he practiced 22 days. And then August. In August month, how many days? Yes, 31 days. Then September, 30 days. And then October, 31 days. November, 30 days. December, 31 days. We have to find up to March 31. January, 31 days. February, 28 days, because 2018 is not a leap year. So February has 28 days. And then March, 31 days. Students, is clear now? In July month, he practiced 22 days. Then August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Full days he practiced. So we have to find the total days. Total days is 265 days. To find the total days, what you have to do? Yes, we have to add the number of days in July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February and March. So totally 265 days he practiced. And then already it's given that at starting he practiced 20 days. So add 20 also. 265 plus 20 equal to 285 days. 11th sum. A clock gains 3 minutes every hour. If the clock is set correctly at 5 am, find the time shown by the clock at 7 pm. See here the given question is a clock gains 3 minutes every hour. That is, time increased 3 minutes for every hour. For example, if the correct time is 1 o'clock, this time will shown as 1 hour 3 minutes. 2 o'clock means 2 hours 3 minutes. So it increased the time by 3 minutes for every hour. The clock is set correctly at 5 am. They set the clock at morning 5 and we have to find the time shown by the clock at 7 pm, evening 7. First we have to convert this time into railway time format, because here the given time one is in am and another one is in pm. So we have to convert this into railway time format. 5 am as 5 hours. Students, note it carefully. If the given time is in am means there is no change. Simply write it as in hours. If the given question is in pm means we have to add 12 hours to pm. See, 7 pm as 7 plus 12 hours. If the given question is in pm means we have to add 12 hours to that time. That is 7 plus 12 equal to 19 hours. 5 a.m. as 5 hours, 7 p.m. as 19 hours. After converting into hours, what we have to do? Yes, we have to find the difference between these hours. Then only we can able to find how much minutes it gains. 19 hours minus 5 hours. 14 hours. 19 minus 5 equal to 14 hours. The duration of time 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. is 14 hours. And the given question is, for 1 hour it gains 3 minutes. For 1 hour it gains 3 minutes. We have to find for 14 hours. The duration of time between 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. is what? Yes, 14 hours. We have to find how much it increased. 1 hour equal to 3 minutes. 14 hours means 14 into 3. We have to multiply it by 3. For 1 hour it gains 3 minutes. 14 hours means 14 into 3. That is 42 minutes. Therefore, the time shown by the clock is 7 hours 42 minutes. That is 7:42 p.m. So totally 42 minutes it gains. Students, listen carefully. First you have to convert AM PM into railway time format. 5 AM as 5 hours. 7 PM as 19 hours. Then we have to find the difference. That is 19 minus 5 equal to 14 hours. Here the given question is for 1 hour it gains 3 minutes. For 14 hours means 14 into 3, that is 42 minutes. The time shown by the clock at 7 p.m. is what? 7 hours 42 minutes, that is 7:42 p.m. 12th sum. Find the number of days between the Republic Day and Kalvi Valarchi Day in 2020. Students, here the given question is, you have to find the number of days between the Republic Day and Kalvi Valarchi Day in 2020. For that, first you need to know the Republic Day and Kalvi Valarchi Day. Republic Day falls on January 26, that is 26/1/2020. We have to find 2021 in the year of 2020. And then Kalvi Valarchi Day. Kalvi Valarchi Day falls on July 15. That is 15/7/2020. Kalvi Valarchi Day is nothing but Kamarajar's birthday. And one more thing you have to remember, that 2020 is a leap year. 2020 is completely divisible by 4. So 2020 is a leap year. So February has 29 days. Students, keep in mind that February has 29 days in leap year. Okay, now let's find the number of days between the Republic Day and Kalvi Valarchi Day in 2020. See, in the month of January, we have to find how many days after 26. 26 is the Republic Day. 27, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the month of January, we have 5 days. Let's write January equal to 5 days. And then February. 2020 is a leap year. So February has 29 days. And then March. 31 days. April. 30 days. May. 31 days. June 30 and July. Up to 15 we have to find. Okay. See, in the month of July we have 31 days. Up to 15 only we have to find. So totally 14 days in July month. Students, is clear now? In the month of January we have to start with 26 because 26 is the Republic Day. So after that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the month of January we have 5 days. And in the month of July up to 15 only we have to find. So totally 14 days in July. Up to 15 means what? 14 days. 1 to 14 we have in July month. So in July month we have 14 days. Now let's find the total number of days. The total number of days is what? Yes, 170. You have to add all the number of days in January to July. In the month of January we have 5 days. In the month of July we have 14 days. So 5 plus 29 plus 31 plus 30 plus 31 plus 30 plus 14 equal to 170 days. Therefore, the number of days between the Republic Day and the Kalvi Valarchi Day in 2020 equal to 170 days. Students, is clear now why we have taken in the month of January as 5 days and in the month of July as 14 days. In the month of January we have to find after 26. After 26 how many days? 5 days. That is 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So totally in the month of January we have to calculate 5 days only. And then February has 29 days because 2020 is a leap year. So February has 29 days. March 31, April 30, May 31, June 30 and July 14. Why we have taken July as 14 days? Yes, up to July 15 we have to find. So 1 to 14, that is 14 days we have to consider for July month. The total days is 170 days. Therefore, the number of days between the Republic Day and the Kalvi Valarchi Day in 2020 is 170 days. 14th sum, convert 480 days into years, and the second one is convert 38 months into years. Students, here we have to convert days into years, that is smaller unit into higher unit. Means what we have to do? Yes, we have to divide it by 365 because 1 year equal to 365 days. 480 days equal to, we have to find how many years. So we have to divide it by 365. 480 divided by 365. 365 into 1s are 365. We can't subtract the number 5 from 0. So let's borrow. 8 will become 7 and 0 will become 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 6 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. So, quotient is considered as a year and the remainder is considered as a days. Therefore, 480 days equal to 1 year, 115 days. Students, is clear now? We have to convert 480 days into years. For that we have to divide it by 365. 365 ones are 365 and the remainder is 115. Quotient is considered as a year and the remainder is considered as a days. So 480 days equal to 1 year, 115 days. Further we can't convert days into years because 1 year equal to 365 days. Here we have only 115 days. So we have to convert this days into month. So let's convert days into month. 1 month equal to 30 days. We have to convert 115 days into how many months? For the year, we have to convert days into months. That is smaller unit to higher unit. For that, what we have to do? Yes, we have to divide 115 by 30. 115 divided by 30. 30 into 3 is 90. 5 minus 0 equal to 5. 11 minus 9 equal to 2. Again, the question is considered as a month. Remainder is considered as a days. Students, you may get confused. Here we have taken the quotient as year and the remainder as days. But here we have considered quotient as month and the remainder as days. Because in first one we have to convert days into year. So quotient is considered as a year. In second one we have to convert days into month. So quotient is considered as a month and the remainder is considered as a days. So totally 115 days as 3 months 25 days. So totally 480 days equal to 1 year. 115 days as what? 3 months 25 days. Students, is clear no? 115 days as what? 3 months 25 days. So we have to write it as 1 year 3 months 25 days. Second sum. Convert 38 months into years. Here we have to convert months into years. That is smaller unit to higher unit. As we already know that 1 year equal to 12 months. We have to convert 38 months equal to how many years? For that, what we have to do? We have to convert months into year. That is smaller unit into higher unit. So we have to divide it by 12. 38 divided by 12. 12 3s are 36. 38 minus 36 is 2. 3 is considered as a years and 2 is considered as a months. So 38 months equal to 3 years 2 months. Students, is clear now? For 1 year equal to 12 months. We have to convert 38 months equal to dash year. Here we are converting smaller unit into higher unit. So we have to divide it by 12. 38 divided by 12 is 3 years and 2 months. 3 is a quotient. So quotient is considered as a years and remainder is considered as a months. 38 months equal to 3 years 2 months. Exercise 2.3 second sum. The saplings are planted at a distance of 2 meter 50 centimeter in the road of length 5 kilometer by Saravanan. If he has 2560 saplings, how many saplings will be planted by him and how many saplings are left? See, here the given question is, the saplings are planted at the distance of 2 meter 50 centimeter in the road of length 5 kilometer. And the total saplings he has is 2560 saplings. From that we are going to find how many saplings will be planted by him and how many saplings are left. See, the total length of the road is 5 km. From that, Saravanan planting the saplings at a distance 2 meter 50 centimeter. Like this, he planned to planting the saplings 2560 at the distance 2 meter 50 centimeter in 5 km length of the road. From this we are going to find how many samplings will be planted and how many samplings are left. See, the samplings are planted at a distance 2 meter 50 centimeter. Here we have a mixed form of units. One is meter and the other one is centimeter. So let's convert meter into centimeter. As we already know that 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. 2 meter equal to 200 centimeter. Therefore 200 plus 50. Already we have 50 centimeter. So 200 plus 50 equal to 250 centimeter. And then length of the road equal to 5 kilometer. We have to convert kilometer into what? Yes, centimeter. Already we convert meter into centimeter, that is 250 centimeter. Now we have to convert kilometer into centimeter. 1 kilometer equal to 1 lakh centimeter. 5 kilometer equal to, yes, 5 lakh centimeter. Students, is clear now why we have converting the meter into centimeter and kilometer into centimeter. The next step is what? Yes, we have to find the samplings will be how many samplings will be planted and how many saplings are left. For that we have to divide 5 lakh by 250. The total length of the road by the samplings are planted at a distance. The total length of the road is what? 5 lakh. The samplings are planted at a distance 250 centimeter. Let's divide. 0, 0 cancel. 25 ones are 25. 25. 2000s are 50,000. Therefore, 2000 samplings are planted in the length of road 5 kilometer. Now let's find how many samplings are left. For that what we have to do? Yes, 2000 samplings are planted in the road of length 5 kilometer. And then what we have to find? Yes, how many saplings are left? We have to find the remaining saplings. What we have to do? Yes, we have to subtract the total samplings minus 2000. That is how many samplings will be planted. The total sampling is what? 2560 minus how many saplings were planted in the length of the road 5 kilometer? Yes, 2000. 2560 minus 2000 equal to 560. Therefore, 560 saplings are left. 2000 saplings are planted and 560 saplings are left. Students, is clear now? First we have to convert meter into centimeter. That is, the saplings are planted at a distance equal to 250 centimeter and the length of the road equal to 5 lakh centimeter. First we have to find the saplings will be planted by him. How many saplings will be planted by him? For that we have to divide 5 lakh by 250. We will get the answer as 2000. Therefore, 2000 saplings will be planted by him. And then we have to find the how many saplings are left. For that what we have to do? We have to subtract 2560 minus 2000. 2560 is a total samplings. 2000 is a samplings are planted by Saravanan. So 2560 minus 2000 equal to 560. Therefore, 2000 saplings were planted by Saravanan in the road of length 5 km and 560 saplings are left. 7th question. A room has a door whose measure are 1 meter wide and 2 meter 50 centimeter high. Can we take a bed of 2 meter and 20 centimeter length and 90 centimeter wide into the room? Here the given question is width of door in the room is 1 meter and the height of the door in the room is 2 meter 50 centimeter and the length of the bed is 2 meter 20 centimeter and the width of the bed is 90 centimeter. Here we have to find, can we take this bed into the room or not? Let's find. Height of door in the room is 2 meter 50 centimeter. Here we have mixed units now. So we have to convert meter into centimeter. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. Then 2 meter equal to, yes, 200 centimeter. Already we have 50 centimeter. 200 plus 50 equal to 250 centimeter. And the width of the door is 1 meter. This also we have to convert into centimeter. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. And then let's find the length of the bed. Length of the bed is 2 meter 20 centimeter. Again we have to convert meter into centimeter. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. Then 2 meter equal to 200 centimeter. 200 plus 20 equal to 220 centimeter. And then the width of the bed is 90 centimeter. Okay. Students, to take this bed into the room, which measurement will be larger? Just guess. Which measurements will be larger? Yes, to take this bed into the room, of course, height and width of the door should be larger. Then only we can take this bed into the room. Let's check which measurement is larger. See, here the height of the door is, height and width of the door is 250 centimeter and 100 centimeter. And the length and width of the bed is 220 centimeter and 90 centimeter. Which measurement is larger? Yes, the measurements of door is larger because the height is 250 centimeter and the length of the bed is 220 centimeter, which is larger. Yes, 250 centimeter is larger. Again, let's see the width of the door. Width of the door is 100 centimeter and the width of the bed is 90 centimeter. Which is larger? Yes, the width of the door is larger. So, we can take this bed into the room. Friends, it's clear now? First, we have to write the height of the door in the room in centimeter. Here, the given question is in the mixed form of meter and centimeter. First, we have to convert this meter into centimeter. Students, note it carefully. If the given question is in mixed form like meter, centimeter, kilometer, meter, means first you have to convert this into lower units. Here the lower unit is centimeter. So we have to convert this meter into centimeter only. So after converting meter into centimeter, what answer you will get? Yes, the height of the door in the room is 250 centimeter. And the width of the door is 1 meter. As we already know that 1 meter equal to what? Yes, 100 centimeter. And the length of the bed equal to 2 meter 20 centimeter. Again we have to convert this meter into what? Centimeter. 2 meter as 200 centimeter. 200 plus 20 equal to 220 centimeter. Width equal to 90 centimeter. Then we have to find which measurement is larger. See, the height and width of the door is 250 centimeter and 100 centimeter. And the length and width of the door bed is 220 centimeter and 90 centimeter. Which is larger? Yes, the measurement of door is larger. So, we can take this bed into the room. Here the given question is what? We have to find, can we take a bed of 2 meter and 20 centimeter length and 90 centimeter wide into the room? Yes, we can take this bed into the room. Ninth question. Sita wakes up at 5:20 a.m. She spends 35 minutes to get ready and travels 50 minutes to reach the railway station. If the train departs exactly at 6 a.m., will Sita catch the train? See, here the given question is Sita wakes up at 5:20 a.m. that is 5 hours 20 minutes. And time spent to get ready is 35 minutes. Traveling time, that is she travels 50 minutes to reach the railway station. Traveling time equal to 15 minutes. To find the exact time, what we have to do? Yes, we have to add the durations. Let's see. 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 is carry over. 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 is 7. And then 5. Therefore, 5 hours 70 minutes. 5 hours. How can we write that 70 minutes as? 60 plus 10 minutes. As we already know that 1 hour equal to 60 minutes. Therefore, 5 hours plus 1 hour 10 minutes. Students, is clear, no? 1 hour equal to 60 minutes. So 60 minutes can be written as 1 hour. 5 hour plus 1 hour equal to 6 hours 10 minutes. Now the time will be what? 6 hours 10 minutes. The departure time of the train is what? 6 a.m. See? Sita reached the railway station at 6:10 a.m. But the departure time of the train is what? 6 a.m. Will Sita catch the train? No, she will not be able to catch the train because she reached the railway station 10 minutes later. 6 hours 10 minutes. So, she will not be able to catch the train. 10th question. A doctor advised Vairavan to take one tablet every 6 hours once in the first day and once every 8 hours on the second and third day. If he starts to take 9:30 a.m. first dose, prepare a time chart to take tablet in railway time. See here, the given question is, a doctor advised Vairavan to take the first dose is taken at 9:30 hours. That is 9:30 a.m. The duration of every dose in first day is what? 6 hours. It's nothing but if he taken the tablet 9:30 hours means we have to add 6 hours on the first day. The duration of every dose in second and third day equal to 8 hours. On the second and third day we have to add 8 hours. For that first you have to make a time chart. See, Vairavan take the first dose at 9:30 hours. See, the first dose is taken at 9:30 hours. How will you find the second dose? Here the duration of every dose in first day is 6 hours. So you have to add 6 hours with 9:30 hours. 9:30 plus 6 equal to 15:30 hours. Students, is clear, no? The second dose taken by Vairavan at 15 hours 30 minutes. How will you find the third dose? Yes, we have to add 15:30 plus 6 hours. That is 21 hours 30 minutes. To find the first dose of second day, what you have to do? Yes, you have to add 21, 30 plus 8 hours. Why you have to add 8 hours here? Because the duration of every dose in second and third day is 8. So you have to add 8 hours. That is 5 hours, 5:30 hours. So Vairavan taken first dose at second day is 5:30 hours. Let's find for second dose. 5:30 plus 8 hours. That is 13:30 hours. 5:30 plus 8 is what? Yes, 13:30 hours. To find the third dose, what you have to do? You have to add 13:30 hours plus 8 hours. 13:30 plus 8 equal to 21:30 hours. To find the third day first dose, what you have to do? You have to add again 8 hours with the time. Because the duration of every dose in second and third day is what? Same, 8 hours only. For first day only, you have to add 6 hours. For second and third day, you have to add 8 hours. So, 21:30 hours plus 8 hours. Again, you will get the same time. 5:30 hours. To find the second dose, again you have to add 8 hours with 5:30 hours. Same you will get 13:30 hours. To find the third dose, you have to add 13:30 hours plus 8 hours. 21:30 hours. Students, it's clear now? It is very simple to find the time chart. Here the given question is first dose is taken at 9:30 am. You have to convert this am into hours. That is 9:30 hours. And duration of every dose in first day is given. That is 6 hours. The duration of every dose in second and third day is also given. That is 8 hours. From these information you have to make a time chart. The starting time is given. Vairavan taken the first dose at 9:30 hours. 9:30 hours. To find the second dose, what you have to do? The duration of the dose is 6 hours. So you have to add 6 hours. The second dose is 15:30 hours. To find the third dose, again you have to add 6 hours. And for second and third day, the duration of every dose is 8 hours. So you have to add 8 hours for second and third day. Now let's recap what we have learnt in this unit. Basic metric units of length is meter, weight is gram and capacity is liter. Different unit measurements should be converted into same unit for addition and subtraction of units. Students, as you already know that if the given question is in meter and centimeter means first you have to convert that question into centimeter. That is in lower units. AM, antemeridian, denotes the time that is after 12 midnight and before 12 noon. PM, post meridian, denotes the time that is after 12 noon and before 12 midnight. To convert 12-hour time to 24-hour time, add 12 to any hours 1 pm to 11 pm and change 12 am as hours. Students, it's clear now? To convert ordinary time into railway time, what you have to do? Yes, you have to add 12 hours to that time. To convert given time greater than 12 in railway time to an ordinary time, subtract 12 from it. Students, to convert railway time to ordinary time, what you have to do? Yes, you have to subtract 12 from it. Ordinary and railway time are the same in AM and it is less than 12. A year which is divisible by 4 is considered as a leap year. A century year which is divisible by 400 is a leap year. Let's see today's activity. Students, you have to observe and collect the data for a minute. For number of times a person breathes, number of times heart beats, number of times the eye blink, distance by walking, distance by running, number of sit-ups, number of claps, number of lines to write, number of lines to read, number of Tamil verbs to say.